Hey, Dad.
Hey, Kat.
So we first came to have a store in Abbotsford in the 70s. I think it was the early 70s.
Yeah.
And I was just really kind of wondering how Abbotsford's changed a ton since then. And I was curious, have the customers changed too with the changing demographic of Abbotsford? Like in our previous video, you talked a lot about farmers, and there's still a lot of farmers, but there's not as many farmers as there were.
No, and the
There's
demographic.
bigger farms,
and
there's
the-
fewer farmers.
Yeah, exactly. The demographic of the farmer has changed as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is then your instruments that would appeal to those demographics is different now.
And that's why we carry different instruments.
That's
We are no
right.
longer a piano and organ
It's-
store. We do
well-
have pianos and organs,
Yes, yeah, we can still
but we don't
supply-
only have pianos and organs.
Exactly, right. So we're a full line store now. So what's happened, of course, is the demographic of age has changed too. Right? So, the great grandfathers, right, of you or my grandfathers and that kind of stuff grew up with the organ as being the thing, and the piano in the parlor, and right. So the keyboard was a very popular instrument, and then from there, as we got through the 1970s and into the 80s, right,
Guitar.
we're getting into the end of the organ world. We still had pianos, right? We're getting to the end of the organ world, so you weren't dealing with as much. And by the time you hit the 1990s, right, the organ was basically a dead issue for the most part.
Yes.
Right, and
Except for churches.
well, right, and still the hobbyist. I mean, we still supply every now and again. We'll still supply somebody with a $7,000 or
brand new
$12,000
fancy organ.
a brand new fancy atelier, right, to that kind of situation, and we still have access to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll still sell a used organ if I have an organ that I don't think is, or a piano, acoustic piano that I don't think should be thrown out, like the Tokai that we have.
Oh,
And we
yes.
did
It's
that.
a very nice piano.
Yeah, right, so those kinds of things, but they're select instruments now. And we've gone off right into, a lot of people are doing guitars. The last 3 or 4 years, electric guitars haven't been that popular comparatively to acoustic guitars, because somehow we've gone through the ukulele craze and got back into folk music, and it goes on, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, you need all those things to support, so, which is right, you got those ukuleles in the other day, right? And we
Very exciting.
did that kind of thing with them. So it's an organic thing. It's always changing, and just because we don't have wind instruments at this particular point in time because of what we did with them, we had a super deal going on with them, great value. Can't find that great value at the moment, right? So there's no point that's going to be to full service, and we don't handle saxophones and clarinets and so on at the moment. Not
Unless
that-
something used comes in.
Oh yeah, exactly. Good quality, something that's worth the dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to, as part of that question, also ask you about Abbotsford in general. How, I remember when I was first working the evening shift, so even, 15 years ago, driving out to Abbotsford, and you were driving through farms, and there were fields everywhere, and now there's townhouses and huge housing complexes. And have you noticed that the compacting of people has affected or changed people's attitudes towards instruments? Like, I know, for example, acoustic drums have fallen by the wayside a bit, possibly because people are living in more confined spaces.
Yeah, that's partly it, as well as the fact that the electronic drums lets a take and put on a set of headphones, right? So in those compact places.
And you can direct
apartments.
USB out too,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
technology also is
And
aiding.
also the other thing that's changed too is the cost of the housing.
Yes.
The cost of housing, when I bought my house, or even in 1998 when we purchased this building, which was just an empty building, right? If we had to purchase it today, right, as an empty building even, right, it would be 4 times, right?
5, 6 times.
No, 4 times what I paid for this, right, at the time, between 3 to 4, without the inside being done,
Yeah.
right, with it as a finished product like this, then it's probably 5 times what we paid for.
I would
4 to 5
imagine.
times.
Or more.
Oh, no.
It's completely insane, the real estate market right now.
Yeah, but the commercial hasn't gone the same way as the residential.
That's true.
I mean, we had a phone call, Mom had a phone call this morning from a realtor, right, that said that they had somebody who was interested in buying our house,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And Boozy said, well, if we were gonna sell it, we probably wouldn't use you as a realtor because Rob, our son, right, we're
Yes.
Remax, right, so.
So she asked what they were going to offer.
No,
of course
but it's well over, let me
At
see.
least 30 times what you paid for it.
30 times, yeah, at least 30 times, maybe 40 times what I paid for it. And actually, that's made it more difficult for folks.
Yes, it has.
Because it's pushed the rents up, and it's a problem. It's
Yeah.
a problem,
Yeah, I've noticed we've had some music lesson students who have had a harder time making their or music lessons.
And we do our bursaries, there's
We
a
do,
little bit
yeah.
more of those things out there. Or I even saw a person on the corner, right, that was looking for dollars for rent. You
Yeah,
know, right,
it's
on
definitely
Saturday, right, so
affecting everybody.
that's for sure.
All right, well, I will let you get back to doing something happier.
Yeah, we're happy.